Alright, this is for anyone interested in training for management. So basically we had this PK open available. 8-Vic took it, so we changed this to host request. Now management will have to change this to transfer request. What you want to do is get this number 7, put that in number 7 here, and then if it's a today's event transfer, we're just basically going to copy this information here. Then you will have access to the agency WhatsApp for training. Will be admin training for J. Hawkins Agency, and you're just going to paste it in here and then just hit send. Now if you have the highlighter program, any of our hosts should be purple. So if our host names are purple, that means everything's correct. If it's not, then something's misspelled. So it's very important that the BGO IDs are correct, and make sure that we're doing the proper thing as event transfer or a sub. So now I'm going to show you to do a sub. Well, this one's actually been approved. Let me just stick on the transfers first. So once this gets approved and it's on BGO schedule, close out of all these appointment things here. Nope, that ain't the right BGO schedule. Okay, so we're just going to open up the BGO schedule. This was just approved, so it's not going to be on the schedule. So basically, when you're going to look on BGO schedule, I suggest that you do this on a computer so we can give you the highlighter program, which will light all of our agency employees in purple. So it'll make it really easy to find it really fast and make your job really easy. Mostly all the tools I have will make your job really easy. The program does most of it itself, but you can see how all of our hosts are highlighted purple. Now the one we're looking for isn't done yet, it's right here, but as soon as this says 82-bit on the schedule, then what we want to do is go back here. You can either type. I do a lot of copying and paste, so I just copy it from up here, because you can't copy it from here because that's a double cell. So you either have to manually do it or copy this. So you're going to just go to the PK data over here, and we're going to replace Shy So Fly right here. We're basically just going to paste in his ID. So normally we don't do this until it's been approved on the schedule, but in this case I'm just going to go ahead and do it to do an example. Then we're basically just going to take that information out, change that back to pending, and change this back to not verified. So now that he needs a sub, the information's here. So let's just go to the boss here, whose PK will be starting in an hour and a half. Just say it's currently going on. We have to wait 10 minutes to get a sub. Just say he needs a sub, so the host can do this, or management. You're just putting sub requests, letting us know you need a sub, and then you're going to put the sub's BGO ID and their agency. Normally it's better to get a sub from our agency, that way they will sit on 0 so you can get your rebate. If you get a sub from outside, you're in risk of having them snipe and take your rebate. So we don't want that to happen. So if it is an opposing agency and they don't want to give your agency name, that's completely fine. They just don't get credit for the completion with their agency. Now the start time should always be PST, and it has to be a minimum of 10 minutes. If it's anything below 10 minutes, you may not get your rebate. There's nothing we can do about getting it. Now, for the management now, we're going to send this as sent for approval, and we're going to go number 1 on this drop down, and the transfers we did here, so the no show replacements, we're going to copy it from here, And the same thing, we're going to go to the training Discord, and we're going to paste it here and send. And again, that should be like that. Put training, so none of my management knows to do anything about that. But then again, our host name should be in purple. So if subs Bigo ID was one of ours, this would be in purple. So it's always important to check that. This only works on the WhatsApp Web's view on a computer or a laptop. May be available on a tablet. I don't think so. I don't think it's available for apps. But that's how we send those to. And then once I send it, or the host manager send it, we will just put sent, so that we know it's sent. And then once Bigo notes it, like this one here just got noted, we are going to put back in the training group and put noted. And that means you can look at this time here. Basically, this should be updated on the schedule within an hour, 45 minutes to an hour. So once it becomes like 1:30, then you can go back and check Bigo's schedule to see if it's updated. If it is updated, then you can go ahead and change this to verified complete. But once we mark it noted, you can change it to end of date needs update. That means we just need to verify it on the schedule. But at the end of the day, we want everything verified complete or incomplete. But I don't want to see too many incompletes. Now, to save incompletes, which I think a lot of the management still does not understand, is we need to get these PKs completed regardless, because this helps everybody get events and keeps your percentages up for your bonuses. Now, just say the boss is not on, but his opponent is on. Gucci's on. So right then and there, we no longer worry about the boss trying to get a hold of him. I mean, we could say, hey, he's got a PK, but if their opponent is on, we need to get that started. So what we're going to do is we're going to post in the chat, try to find anybody in Jay Hawkins' agency that can line this person now. Just go ahead and do it. So this is where it's a little different, because we're going to save the incomplete. So we're going to change this. We're going to put our sub's name in here, our agency. You don't need a start time. And what we're going to do is we're going to send this in as a transfer, not a let me just put an ID in here for someone. Let's see who's in the agency. We'll just use Sunflower, just so that it shows up right. I'm going to do Jay Hawkins, and I'll show you how we do this. And this way, the agency doesn't get it incomplete, the hosts don't get it incomplete. Well, we're still going to penalize the boss for missing his PK, but we're going to save the PK. So instead of doing this as a no-show replacement, we're going to do it as a transfer. So now we're going to take number 1 again, and instead we've got to remember which is the right one to do. We're not doing the replacement. So we're going to do it as an event transfer. And once we paste this into the chat, we're going to just either type underneath it, or I just hit Control and Enter to go underneath it, and then I put both agencies agree to the last minute sub or last minute transfer, and then put in progress. So that way Bigo won't mark this as an incomplete on the boss. It'll just be a transfer and nobody gets an incomplete. So I'm just going to put test on here again. So that's how we do the different phases. So we have the transfers, which is done from the transfer. So you always got to make sure this is correct. And then we have the no-show replacements. And then we have the event transfers to save the no-show. But remember, this opponent here has to be live. If they're not live, we can't do nothing about this. If our host is not live and their host is not live, it's an incomplete for both agencies. Okay, so the other thing that we have are, I'm going to try to run these in really quick since we're available now. So this one's still available. These are done. So this is how we're going to do tomorrow's. We need 25, 26, and 29. I usually do it one down. 25, 26, and this is why I have so many of these, so that you can do multiple ones at once. 25, 26, 29, and 32. 29 and 32. Now you can start it from the top. The reason why I don't is because I try to keep this one that says event transfer. These are drop down, so you can flip it back and forth. But these, see, these are tomorrow transfers, which also they can be moved. You know, if someone else is working on it, it can be done. So we always want to double check here. We're going to go here. We're going to do transfer requested. Whoops, we didn't do that one. I put that one in there too, didn't I? Transfer requested. Transfer requested. Transfer requested, and transfer requested. These should be changed by the host or whoever puts it in as a host request. So all these should be host requests. Once it's from available. So again, we got 25, 26, 29, and 32. It's important if we're doing all of these to have this information correct. Is that DJ Braggs? Yeah. Don't be afraid to double check yourself multiple times, because this is very important, because this is considered falsified billing if we don't do this right. So we're going to copy these. You can do all four at one time. That's why I have it like this, to make it easy. Then we're going to go to the training. We are going to paste it here and hit send. Now if you're using the web view, make sure you hit read more. Make sure all of our hosts are purple. That way you know there is no typos. And make sure they're transfers for tomorrow. Everything's on there. And then what I'm going to put here is sent, letting you know that I'm sending it, and I'm going to send them to Bigo. Now, we normally don't add anything for tomorrow unless we have a window. Like if this wasn't approved yet, we never want to put anything in the Bigo admin. For those that become host managers, those will be the only ones that actually have access to actual Bigo. So in the meantime, all shift managers and stuff will have access to the training here, because like I said, this is billing, and if this is not correct, the agency will get dinged for falsified billing. So that's why I decided to do this. I used to do this a long time ago. I'm starting to bring back some of my old training stuff back. Now once this is approved by Bigo or noted, I will put approved or noted. And then we still have to wait an hour to see if it's on the schedule. So once these are on the schedule, you're going to go to Bigo schedule, hit tomorrow, and then again, if you're using the right tools, everything will be purple. So when it's updated, we're basically going to do the same thing we did it with the other transfers. We're going to take these IDs, we're going to go to the PK data, find the right person that they're replacing, replace it. And then when you look back here, before you delete everything, under the C should be here, under the C should be here, Julian should be here, and DJ Braggs are here. So if all that looks right and the agencies are still popping up here, then you can just go ahead and take all that out. An easy way to do that, if you're familiar with spreadsheets, is just highlight these columns, put the crosshair in here, and just drag it up to the next cell, and it'll automatically reset. I'm gonna put that back because we still need that data for right